Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim. This is another Real Ideal Gear review, and today we're looking at a Nordic Marine Instruments watch that I absolutely love. This is a great sport watch. This is a sport watch that has a lot of things going for it. Some things I've always loved about watches, like the Lume. It's also the handset, also the movement that's in this watch. There are so many good things about this watch. Will this watch actually make it to the 10 out of 10 for 2024? I'm getting down to the last few watches that I'm going to review for 2024. Is this one of those 10 out of 10 watches? We'll find out here in a minute. So let's go through the 5 things that we typically go through: size, fitment, finish, accuracy, legibility, and lume. And then we'll talk about some conclusions at the end. Now, the size of this watch is a 39 millimeter watch with a 10.5 millimeter thick height off the wrist. That makes this watch a little bit on the chunky side. At the same time, you don't really notice it because this is another one like the San Martin SN 129. You just don't notice the thickness of this watch on the wrist. It's actually pretty good, pretty well laid out as far as the proportions, and it just is such an attractive watch. You don't really pay attention to that. Now, between the lugs, as far as the width goes, it's a 20 millimeter, so you have great options for strap changes. Now, the crown on this watch is phenomenal. I love the texture of this crown on this watch. The size is perfect. It has crown guards on it, but the crown guards, I think, are a little bit better than the San Martin 129. This one has a little bit more grip surface for you, and the crown itself is a grippier surface. So I absolutely love the crown in this watch, and the unscrewing, adjusting, putting it back together, butter smooth. It's awesome. Has screw-in links, which makes adjusting the links on this for the overall large adjustments for this watch very, very easy to do. It also has a quick release spring bar on the bracelet, so you can make strap adjustments very quick and very easy. Now, what about the finish of this watch? It is unbelievable. I love it. This is on par with any San Martin out there. As a matter of fact, I think it's above this. And when it comes to the price point, this watch has the finishing that I absolutely love. The finishing of the brushing on here is super good. It's fine. It also has enough polish on the chamfered edges of the case and along the bezel to, again, give that sport watch a little bit of, I don't know, classiness, kind of a professional look to it. So it's not just all brushed steel. It has some flash to it. So you can wear this watch under a lot of different circumstances. This is a fantastic dial. I love the legibility of this dial. I love the layout of this dial. It has a reverse sandwich style dial. It also has great indices. The 12 o'clock is differentiated from all the other hour markers, which is really clear, very easy to see. You also have a great handset. Now, the hour hand and minute hand are about the same size. I don't really notice any size difference between the two. The length is definitely different. So the minute hand is significantly longer than the hour hand, which makes it great as far as differentiating the hour hand from the minute hand. I just wish the hour hand was a little bit wider, not a big deal. But take a look at the second hand. Look how delicate that second hand is, the counterbalance on there, the red tip at the end. You have just a little bit of a, I don't know, what do you call that, like an oval, an open oval there on the second hand. It just is a delicate looking second hand. And you've got this blacked out handset, which is great. Why? Because this is a full lume dial. And if you're going to do a full lume dial, don't put lume on the handset as well. Keep it blacked out so it's very easy to read during the daylight hours and also when it's fully lumed. If you have lume on the handset, it just makes it more difficult typically to read it during the day and also reading it at night when you have the lume going like crazy. So I love the dial layout. I love the color of this watch. The yellow on here is fantastic. It has that kind of almost dull egg yolk type color to it, which I absolutely love that color. I have a Steel Dive Willard that just looks about the same color. One of my favorite color yellow dials of all time. This is going to be the second one on there as well. So the overall finishing and the look of this watch is outstanding. Now, what about the accuracy? It's a Miyota 9000 movement. It's accurate. It's well within spec. I love the smooth movement of the second hand. I absolutely love Miyota movements. Now, what about the legibility? I've already talked about it. It's great. All the hour indices are very easy to read. The blacked out handset makes it easy to read. And even the second hand, without my glasses on, I can see the second hand moving around, no problem whatsoever. Now, the legibility of the date window, a little bit different because the date wheel is the same color as the dial. And sometimes for me, I'm not a huge fan of that. At the same time, I can appreciate it. So this is not anything that I'm going to ding the score on for this watch. I think it actually matches up really well. I just have to get used to it. But I do like the fact that it's all one continuous color. There's no sudden change to a white date window or a white date dial in the background. So to me, it all works out great. I love the finishing. I love the look. I love the legibility. Now, what about the lume? Outstanding lume. This is a full lume dial. Does a great job overall. No complaints whatsoever. This watch overall is fantastic. 100 meters of water resistance, a sports style watch. What's wrong with this watch? Nothing. This is a 10 out of 10, no doubt about it. This is a fantastic watch. I highly recommend it. It's not a cheap watch, but for value, it is a great watch. And I believe this is sold out on their website. So you're going to be looking on eBay for this watch because this is a limited edition watch. It's limited to 50 pieces. So it's going to be a tough one to find on the open market, but be patient. Keep looking at eBay every month and see if there's any of those out there or other watch vendors. So there you go. That's the review of this watch. 10 out of 10. Nordic Marine Instruments. Does anybody else out there have any watches from Nordic Marine Instruments? I really like the company. And one of the reasons I went after this is because of my family's Swedish Scandinavian heritage. So I wanted a watch that at least had the Scandinavian heritage in it. I know this watch is not made in Scandinavia, but at the same time, it's okay. I like the name. I love the brand. It works for me. So love to hear what you have in the comments down below. Also check out the webpage, realidealgear.com. Check out the watches. Yeah, there's going to be a glut of watches that are going to go in after the new year. I've decided that it's too busy for me right now to try to sell any watches right now. So I'm going to put those watches up for sale after the new year. So you'll see about 20 to 30 watches go up there. It's going to be a heartbreaker time for me because most of these watches are watches I've been hanging on to. I haven't been buying a lot of watches lately. So yeah, these are the ones that are kind of heartbreakers for me. That'll be happening after the beginning of the new year. So realidealgear.com. Love to see what your comments are. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.